Matthew Doyle was about to lose his job. If somebody you're working with is about to lose your job, there's nothing wrong, I think, in saying, are there any other jobs available? As long as, you know, that he could apply for, going through due process to get those jobs.
He had no experience in foreign
Well, it doesn't
affairs.
matter, but there's nothing wrong with friends saying, are there any jobs around?
Fuck off.
We are live on Brewing, people. Welcome to the stream. Davinia Robbins was first in again. Good evening to you. Doc Davies is with us as well. Big Jerry, Graham Turner, and Mobius as well. Solidarity to all. Let's brew this thing. This is the Brews at 10. I'm your humble host, Lefty. No Paul on this evening's stream, this Thirsty Thursday, or Thirst Day. But we'll be catching up on a few bits and pieces. UK police state, another shocking example. Well, more than one example actually. Because today, which happens to be St. George's Day, a personification of St. George himself was actually arrested outside Downing Street on Whitehall today. I'm going to take a look at that as well. A few new bits and pieces about the upcoming local elections. And the return of a classic feature on tonight's stream as well. No spoilers. That's an ploy to get you to watch for longer and increase the viewing time. Okay, people. Speaking of helping out the channel, please hit thumbs up as you do join us on stream. This is the fresh members roster. Can see some members in chat already. Nice to see you, members. You'll notice your names on this list, along with the rest of the Brew crew as well. And we're on 172 now. We've lost a few since the last stream. But thank you very much for all of your recent contributions, gifted memberships, that sort of thing. And if you want to help out this stream, you can do so with super chats, super stickers. If you watch it back later on, There's super thanks as well, and a buy me a coffee page in the description of any content on the channel. So that's where you find the link. You might have noticed one or two, again, gaps. That appears to be because people have fonts that don't quite marry up with the spreadsheet that YouTube provides you for your members. That's a bit of a insider knowledge there, a bit of behind the scenes knowledge. Thanks for throwing up the Palestine flags there, Mo, as well as hitting the thumbs up button. Excellent advice. Hit that button, people. Okay, may as well disclose this now. I'm not entirely certain when the next live stream might be, owing to reasons. No, regular viewers will know that I'm going to be going down to London next week, potentially this weekend actually. So we'll see. But I'll do my utmost to keep you up to speed with everything that's going on, of course. I'm going to be filming some interesting events and doing a couple of other things, so I'll keep you posted as best as I can. Thanks as well to people who've contributed hype points to our recent content as well. It seems to be slightly sporadic in terms of its availability, but there is one thing for certain: you can only gift hype points from a mobile device, a phone or a tablet, that kind of thing. So please do open some content on such a device and hit the relative buttons. Once you hit thumbs up, the option to hype should appear magically, and you press the button that says "damn straight I want to gift my left eye some hype points." Rock yeah is with us as well. I just made it back from the pub. Solidari-Tea, thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good time at the pub. Just on the tea, of course. Self. Never know what Phil's drinking. He's got this flask. It's hard to tell. What have you got in there? Talkie. Okay, people. Comedy clip forthcoming as well. It's not all doom and gloom. No, there are actually some things to be cheerful about as we go through the stream. It's vast majority going to be UK affairs, UK business, political business. Yeah, Mo, it's a bit sort of random, sporadic. Once I first became aware of this feature, tried to check it out myself. It does appear sometimes, doesn't other times. You have to hit the thumbs up button first on a video you haven't already liked. You can't like unlike and then re-like it, and it'll appear. Emma Richardson, thanks for joining us from out there in the sticks. No accessible pubs. Well, that kind of sucks. Yeah. Just checking I've got all the clips and stuff in order. Looks like we're good to go. And whatnot. And since I started the stream, Keir Starmer hasn't resigned. That's the latest update for you, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll probably stick it out until the locals, and then we'll see what happens. Moisha, nice to see you. Moisha on toast. Solidarity. Yeah. I need to lay something on you as well. I'll say that for another time. Relating to something I just mentioned earlier. That I can't see on stream. Okay. Davinia, thanks for the... thanks for the granular information. What's the word I was looking for? It's not the word. Comprehensive detail. But you're here now. That's what matters. Hope you leave it running in the background as well, you know. Whatever you're doing. All adds to the watch time. Okay, people. Who is it? Oh, of course it is. I forgot who the comedy clip was for a moment. They've not been on for a while. But it's the Juice Media with the honest government ads. They've been going for a while now. And they put out a good one. Going around the world, pointing out authoritarian countries and whatnot, and they certainly save the best for last. So let's check this one out. Let's see what's happening. There's a link in the description as well, by the way.
Hello, I'm from the government. In today's episode of Where is Humanity Going to Shit Now? We look at everything everywhere all at once. Like here at the Indian government, where our bear hugger-in-chief has banned comedians from making fun of him, including the honest government ads. Hi Modes, we know you're watching. And here at the Queensland government, where we've banned 6 words about freedom. Cool and Orwell. Here in Indonesia, our war criminal president had thousands beaten and arrested for protesting government shitfuckery. So of course we now get to chair the UN Human Rights Council. And here in Saudi Arabia, we had a journalist butchered with a bone saw. So we get to host a World Cup. In Russia, we're forcing migrants to fight in Ukraine. In year 4 of our 3-day special military operation. In China, we're preparing our own special military operation. But hey, here's a new iPhone. Here at the government of Iran, we've massacred thousands of our people. And somehow now look like the victims thanks to this war criminal and his orange chimp launching an illegal war on us. Here at the Israeli government, we've committed genocide in Gaza, invaded Lebanon, and imposed the death penalty just for Palestinians, which makes us the biggest pieces of shit in the world. But hold our beer, because here at the US government, our attention seeker-in-chief is bored of peace. So he's armed war criminals, kidnapped presidents, had ICE murder American citizens, and when he shocked the world by saying he'd erase an entire civilization overnight, said, "Why are you so obsessed with me, boy? Thanks to these assholes, everyone's spending billions on preparing for World War III instead of better schools, solutions to the climate crisis, and a cure for Alzheimer's. You can forget about that. Scientists have coined a term to define the age we're living in, the enshittenment. But last week, 4 humans flew around the moon, millions of Americans took to the streets, and Hungarians turned out in record numbers to end this 16 years of authoritarian rule. A species that can reach for the stars and flush out a fascist in the same week can get its shit together. So if you have a shit government, and statistically you do, be like Hungary. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Good luck.
Authorised by the Department for going gentle into that good night.
Juice Media and Honest Government ads. Check them out, go and subscribe, there's a link in the description. Yeah, there are some right shits out there. Including here in the UK. Which I'm surprised didn't come up there. But they're certainly going to... I mean, this is coming from the UK, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the government, of course. They're going to be coming up on the stream. Well, pretty much right from the get-go. Because we're in a police state in the UK. Just a couple of weeks back, we saw over 530 arrests in Trafalgar Square with Defend Our Juries, of course. Check out our earlier content for more about that one. We were down there on the scene. But a couple of people who I know were in the news today. This was a protest at Woolwich Crown Court. Just getting things lined up. Okay. So yeah, this took place at Woolwich Crown Court. It included a familiar face from Defend Our Juries, that is Trudy Warner, whose arrest more or less got the... who during the early days of the campaign was famously arrested outside the Old Bailey. Most recently, of course, Defend Our Juries have been holding up placards in Parliament Square, Trafalgar Square, in support of PAL action. However, this time they've reverted back to the original placards, which Trudy has previously been arrested holding up outside the Old Bailey. And again, the placards feature the words that are on a massive wooden plaque in the Old Bailey, in the lobby, pointing out that a jury has the right to acquit based on its conscience. And Trudy and someone else who I don't think was named in the initial release, so I won't name them because I'm not a dick, but someone who I've co-led marches with and stuff before was also arrested. But this is shocking now. I'm gonna play the footage from this is from DOJ's social media. And again, lest we need reminding, of course, the prescription of PAL action was deemed to be unlawful by the High Court, and the government are now instructing the Met to ignore judgments from the High Court itself. So if that isn't police state, it's pretty much just tag and bag everybody who doesn't agree with us. That's the government's stance, and a very shoddy methodology as well, I might say. Because amongst those 530 odd arrestees from the other weekend were quite a few friends of mine and people I know. In fact, Moishe on Toast was one such arrestee at Parliament Square at one of the earlier demonstrations as well. So to see this again today is absolutely abhorrent, because obviously these two individuals are no threat to the public whatsoever. And what is some ink on a placard that has a peaceful message on it, which is used by the courts themselves, or one court specifically, at the Old Bailey. It's crazy, isn't it? So let's see what's happening.
This is a complete outrage. This is absolutely ridiculous.
We're about to get arrested for standing outside a courtroom with signs that tell jurors that they have an absolute right to acquit based on their conscience.
And I'm so sorry, viewers, to put you through the absolute horror of having to read those words. I'm sure you all need a moment now for that extreme language that's used on, the shocking, unbelievable language used on these placards, literally highlighting a legal right that exists in the United Kingdom. Fetch your smelling salts, whatever you need. It's 20 past 10 now, so you can have a drab of whatever you like. Maybe some of you have already started. Maybe you want something stronger. Maybe you need something stronger. After those, I can't believe, goodness me. In all of my days doing this stream, I've heard some absolutely, wow. There you go. Trudy on a little chair there, and someone whose name I nearly said, but I'm not going to, sat on the floor.
No, you guys are aware. I think I've probably spoken to you guys now.
So this is, it looks like body cam footage or handheld footage from the Babylon.
This is entirely legal. This is on a track in the Old Bailey. So,
But hence we placed it.
Oh, he's yeah, but all the police have to be concerned about is upholding the law.
Everyone to be on the other side of the road, and that's where it is, and that's the laws, and that's what's in place.
it feels like a very arbitrary decision.
Unfortunately, I'm not the one making decisions.
So-
I'm just making sure everyone has a safe
Okay,
process.
well I'll just sit here.
You won't be able to sit here.
So there's this minor thing, oh God, it's pathetic, where you can and can't protest. Obviously, part of this was being defiant with that, as well as with the signs. And then they get nicked. But as Trudy's pointing out here, she's upholding the law.
The law, what I'm doing is entirely legal. This is a complete outrage.
Please stay away from the officers.
This is a complete outrage. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Moishi, quite right there, yeah, thought criminals. And didn't actually subject myself to scrolling through the comments on this one. It's been a busy day, but the type of stuff you normally get with this kind of thing, believe me, I've even had it directed towards myself personally. You know, lock them up and throw away the key. You know the types. They can't stand to see people wanting to do a good thing or whatever it is that they're protesting about. They're the, you know, I'll be a dick and people will like me. That's their philosophy, apparently. And if you challenge them on that, they'll tell you, oh, I don't care. Or they'll say, you know, I don't give a fuck. But they care so much to constantly post on social media about these things, some of them all day, relentlessly. That doesn't exactly smack of not caring to me. Good point there, Moishi. Yeah. Bring the thought, police. Be careful. Mind how you think, people. Not just mind how you go. Clearly very dangerous individuals, yeah. Quite right, Emma. And just following orders, yeah. That's a shit excuse, isn't it, Davinia? Really is. We know the... what should we say? Police and members of the military throughout history have also used that excuse.
I am merely stating the law. I'm being handcuffed behind my back. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can hardly believe.
It's and what 1, 2, 3, 4 cops around Trudy, at least 3 around the other participants, and it's the same at the larger demos as well, with the other placards. They bring them in from Wales. They bring them in from all over England as well. They make false statements and false threats when people are arrested, saying things like, well, if you don't give me your details, then for all we know, bearing in mind you're being arrested in London, we might have to take you to a station in Glasgow or Edinburgh or Greenland or Timbuktu or the arse end of New Zealand, just to try and scare you into giving away your details so you get a quicker process. And it's shady tactics all around.
That this is happening. Why is it that jurors...
Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a personal nosy myself. Who's around?
aren't allowed to know about their right to acquit on conscience. There's a High Court ruling about this law, and
so the High Court ruling was the such government dickheads versus Trudy Warner. That was the actual case. So the High Court ruling in the case concerning Trudy Warner obviously applies here, and they're arresting the very person concerned in that ruling. Irony. It's beyond irony. It's beyond ridiculous. It's beyond authoritarian as well. Don't do any thinking in the van when you're on the way to the station either. Trudy, public menace.
what a complete mess. What a complete mess. The right to a fair trial is one of the basic rights under the European Convention of Human Rights.
Well, that sounds like thinking talk to me. Wait till the judge hears about things like this.
Jurors need to hear the whole truth, and jurors have a right to acquit according to their conscience.
They do. They do. And we've had the right to jury trial for many hundreds of years now. This is something that David Lammy wants to do away with. It's obvious and clear why that is when you see examples like this. So well done again to Trudy Warner, who'd been out with Defend Our Juries. I first met Trudy through Just Stop Oil. She's involved with other organisations as well, is my point. Very brave of her to continue this. Especially considering what's going on with the courts and whatnot. She's an absolute marine. And the same goes, of course, for the other participants, whom I shan't name at this time. So that's the first example of the police state. Just from today, because unfortunately there was another. it's difficult to gauge which of these two incidents, or in terms of them leading to arrest, of course, is the most ridiculous. You might think, Lefty, how can you say such a thing? That was the most ridiculous thing we'll ever see. Perhaps not, because I'm still not certain myself. Don't want to try and give bias as well, because I know the people involved with the first one. But take a look at this. This is from Whitehall, right outside the gates of Downing Street. It's just literally a few paces away from where I've been arrested myself. And a fella's gone down there in sort of cheap looking, or not plastic, kind of, like Halloween costume, whatever. But armour. He's gone down in armour as, air quotes, St. George, to make a point about Palestine, because of course St. George, who's recognised as a saint in many European countries, arcs from Palestine, as legend goes. And made a similar statement to those made at recent Defend Our Juries protests, but I pointed out, of course, the overreach and the overreaction from the police in that last clip in terms of numbers. This is certainly right up there as well. I can't believe this is the country that I occupy, although I can, as I said, having been arrested outside Downing Street myself. That was back in October, back in 22. So it is quite believable when you think about it. This is the state of Britain today. Let's see what's happening.
What's the update?
So I'm not certain how much you'll be able to see of the sign, which is written as a shield. Quite imaginative. But I am a Palestinian saint, it is, and then he says obviously he supports Pal Action on the bottom part. So he's already got 2 mounted police around him. The horse on the right getting particularly up close and friendly as well. And yes, they are generally around there mounted. At least I do have to admit, but sort of boxing him in a bit, I guess. Maybe a bit unnecessary. Because one of the things about this is there's a moment of genuine confusion from the Met. They're not certain what to do. Maybe they think he is a time traveller or something. I don't know what's going on, but they're on the radios. Sarge, we got a night outside Downing Street, and he's been thinking. I think. I mean, I've not been thinking because that's like illegal, but it appears he's been thinking, Sarge.
The station advised me that if I'd have been here at a protest, I would have been arrested straight away. They're just waiting for further advice. And then he asked, the mail officer asked me, do I mean the group, not just Action in Palestine? So he's giving you an out, really. Yeah.
These 2 horses have got more brains than the entire fucking Mets at this fucking rate. Seriously. Yeah, so if he'd been one of hundreds of people, he'd have been arrested straight away, but because he's there, going solo on St. George's Day, making a point and using his imagination a bit with the costume, it's an entirely... They don't know what to do. Have you tried being a septuagenarian or disabled? No? Okay. Because, seriously, you're holding a placard under those circumstances, they'll snap you up right away, believe me. I've seen it literally hundreds of times right in front of my very eyes.
What's your opinions on this?
Well, fortunately, they just happened to be passing an atypical English man from an advert. You, atypical Englishman, with flat cap and all.
Right, could I borrow St George? Is that alright? Right, good afternoon. Okay, so I've spoken to the duty officer. He has advised me that Palestine is a prescribed terrorist group. Okay, Palestine action is prescribed.
So they've not heard about the High Court ruling either. They've advised me to ignore a decision from the High Court, which should be illegal, making this arrest illegal. Go.
What I'm going to do for the present time is I'm going to detain you here under the Terrorism Act, alright, and I'm going to take some details from you. We're going to be seizing that placard when other officers...
It's a shield, not a placard. You know, you're already arresting him, there's no need to be so disrespectful at the same time as well. Babylon.
Come down, we'll make a decision where to go then, because I need to contact our terrorist commander. Is that alright with you? Okay.
That's one thing that always gets me as well. Is that alright with you? I'm going to nick you on jumped up charges that are actually illegal. Is that alright with you? And you always just feel like, fucking whatever. Just get me in the bastard career.
My name is Lefty Slay.
I'm a slayer of dragons.
Are you? Oh, well, I used to get very mocked for my name at school, but apparently it means cool now, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm not understood as well.
What was it about the name? It's got some sort of comedic surname. We might as well, we might as well milk that for what it's worth.
I used to get very mocked for my name at school, but apparently it means cool now, doesn't it? Is that alright with you? My name is Lefty Slay. Nice to meet you.
I'm a slayer of dragons.
Are you? Oh, well, I used to get very mocked for my name at school, but apparently it means cool.
I couldn't make out what it was. Don't know if you heard it. It was a shrubbery. Yeah. I do. And another one with a two-layered effect and a path running through the middle as well. It gets more ridiculous. This isn't even the worst of the overreaction. Oh no, because clearly he's a direct threat to the public, the Prime Minister, all of London, near the countries trying to invade. It's a one-man invasion. This is a one-man declaration of war, so they need backup. You're going to see that in a few moments. Yeah. Neat.
Yeah, I'm not understood as well. I can be a dragon. Yes, get on with it! Right, should I take
Get on with it! Like everybody knows about.
A little bit. So I don't know if he's given his details here. Also, as far as I'm aware, I just want to point out, I don't know / don't think this is part of an official DOJ protest. I might be wrong. Sorry, I've not had time to go on certain chats for certain reasons today, etc. But what I was going to say was, I was just taking down his details there. So it's Mr. It's Sir, actually. Actually, where are you from? Cuds. Where? Cuds. That's K. No, Q-U. Ignoramus. It's in Palestine. It's what you might call Jerusalem. So she's clearly in distress and in need of backup, as you can see there. He was doing a lot of thinking directly into her face. It's very violent thinking. Assault that we just witnessed also. So, yeah. Better call for backup. Calling all cars. Here they are. Tearing up Whitehall. A whole van full of them. We heard something about a night. Just... Oh, they just start clobbering people. No, he's over here. All right. They just literally out the van start clobbering. Right, you bloody students. Give her some space. Yes. Highly delicate. I don't know if they've called, I don't know if I can use the B word, on street. Well, I've done, of course, multiple times when I've been talking about the Middle East, of course. Did they get a bomb defusal squad out there for the... as well, while they're at it, while they're being dramatic? Is a helicopter going to land down in the middle of Whitehall with a bunch of, you know, armed to the teeth, fucking red berets?
Move away, please. Can you move back a bit, please? Move back.
He's like, move back. He's a fucking mile away.
Yeah. Wait, can you go away? Can you go away, please?
Please step back, please.
Go away.
Yeah, don't want to get recorded breaking the law, do they? Fucking... It's public space. Not interfering. Ah, the days. I say that, I walked up there literally 2 weeks ago. I love it. He's just there leaning on the sign now. Shit, there's something about when people have masks on and stuff, the extra comedic effect, like with Buckethead and Bin Face and those kind of people. You know, the so-called comedy candidates in elections. So just leaning on his shoulder. Can't believe it. Really can't believe it. I'm pretty certain whoever they are, they knew there was a chance that this could happen. But the overreach as well. What did this whole thing cost? About, what, 10, 15 grand on this guy? It's St. George's Day. Yeah, but you can have Tommy 10 Names in his group walking up there, pissing all over the cenotaph, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all. Will that be happening in a couple of weeks' time? Not sure when the next one's planned, but double standards, two-tier, whatever you want to call it. It's very evident in this case. I'm arresting you for possession of metal gauntlets contrary to Section 12 of possession of slightly historically accurate costume wear. Sleep safe, people. Another menace off our streets. Don't you do any thinking while you're in that van either. Even a lot of the police look bemused. They look bemused, confused. I don't blame them. Because I am. What the in hell was all that about? Seriously. So which was the more ridiculous, do you think? That one? Or the Woolwich Court one? Let me know in chat. Well done, though. So, joking aside, of course. Well done. St. George there. How much? Yeah, a day's horse. I don't know how much a day's horse costs these days, Moisha. Yeah, the carrier there. There must have been at least 20 police around. Not certain how long all of that took, but these processes can be pretty drawn out. In the van, round to Hammersmith, wherever. Hopefully the desks are, imagine him in the in custody, and the desk sergeant's like, he looks at the night, and then he looks at the arresting officer, and then he looks at the night, and back at the arresting officer, who's like, okay, what in the shitting hell have you just brought me? Jesus. God, I was just, just where personal experiences are concerned, I think the most reserved I've ever had to keep myself in a custody suite. I'll share this one with you, actually. So I was on my way out, so I was trying to remember if it was on the way in or out then. But I was at the custody desk on the way out, and they were just bringing somebody in. It's because it was in Hammersmith, excuse me, that's why it reminded me of it. They brought a guy in, not a protester, nothing to do with JSO. And so there's sort of segregated areas at the desk, sort of little mini cubicles, as it were, with sort of wood at the bottom and glass at the top. The guy stood right next to me with his arresting officer. And yeah, so the desk sergeant asked what he'd done. And I can't remember if it was somebody's house or a business. And you'll have to, this is, what I'm about to say as well is quite revolting. As well as you'll understand why I had to exercise calm and non-violent principles, of course. But just to warn you, it is a bit gross as well. So he was arrested apparently for spitting all over a window, and then, with his hand, drew a swastika into his own, spit. Yeah. What a piece of fucking human excrement. And I remember turning around to somebody, maybe even a police officer, who was showing me out and saying, you better get me the fuck out of here before I end up back inside for something worse. Ah, days, times. Yeah, it's council tax, of course, that policing comes under. So Londoners, if you're watching, that's where it's going to. I'm actually really curious now as to how much a day's horse costs. I'm gonna write to Sadiq Khan. No, he's gonna think I'm some sort of far-right nutter or something. What's all this money on horses? How much is a day's horse? Plus rider. Right, where are we going next? We'll have a look at another vid now. A journalist challenged Zach Polanski. I think he does a very, very good job here in answering this question. It's one of those where they think they've really got him on the spot. I don't know why, considering the fact that he is, of course, Jewish himself. But it, of course, concerns Jewish attitudes towards Israel, his attitude towards Zionism, and so on. But his attitude, his personal attitude, I think is right on point. Of course, and he does a very, very good job in explaining, of course, the difference between anti-Zionism, anti-Semitism, and so on. Thence, we're going to take a look at a bit of an article concerning the Greens, and that will nicely segue us into, like I said, I've got some new information on the locals, and we'll be seeing the return of a popular feature as well. So this is Polanski first. I'm not certain where this, I think he might even mention it in the interview, where it's taking place. I'm going to guess, yeah, Hackney, I think. I hope I'm right. Hackney?
Some of the criticism against you and your stance regarding Israel, if I move now to Israel, does come from within the Jewish community, and some Jewish outlets had quite fierce criticism against you. So how do you respond to that, and how has that affected you, also personally?
Yes, so there was polling quite recently that was in the Guardian newspaper that showed a huge increase. It wasn't a huge increase, but it was between 5 and 10% increase, so a significant increase in Jewish people voting for both the Green Party and, to be fair, the Reform Party. So I think, first of all, there's a false perception.
I've got to say as well, considering what we know about leader Nigel Farage, you really have to wonder why. You really have to wonder why anybody from the Jewish community had put their weight behind a clear anti-Semite. And we've heard this from people who went to school with and bullied as well. We're not talking, not that this is excusable, what I'm about to describe, but some sort of outdated joke on social media or whatever. We are literally talking about a campaign of bullying that seriously affected someone during the youth, and he was openly racist when he was younger, from what we've heard about Nigel Farage, obviously. That does kind of stagger me a little bit, but as Polanski said, fortunately, people are going over to the Greens as well.
That Jewish people aren't voting for the Green Party. In fact, I meet people all the time on the streets, including in Hackney, and it's a repetitive thing, but it's still lovely, where people say, as a Jewish person in this country, thank you very much that I finally feel like I have my point of view represented in the British media. That being said, I think there are definitely parts of the Jewish community who...
£15 a day for a horse? Sorry, £15 a day was nothing that Zach Polanski said. I'm not reacting to Zach, it's in chat. Doc Davies has been doing some research. £15 a day? That can't be right. Because there's the thing is that there's, rich people used to have cars, poor people used to ride horses, and now it's vice versa. £15 a day? Well, I guess there are no horses being held up in the Strait of Hormuz, as far as we know, so it doesn't matter about the petrodollar.
Feel that I'm not speaking for them, and that's totally fine, because at no point have I ever claimed to speak for the entire...
Sorry, I do want to skip back, just because interrupted Zach, just a few seconds.
That being said, I think there are definitely parts of the Jewish community who feel that I'm not speaking for them, and that's totally fine, because at no point have I ever claimed to speak for the entire Jewish community, because it would be impossible.
But Israel certainly do. Every day, yeah. Whatever the... Try and roughly work it out. I'll save time. Just whatever the geographical place is that's furthest away from Israel, something anti-Semitic could be, I don't know, written on a fucking public lavatory door or something like that. And they'd be up in arms, you know, because they've declared themselves spokespeople. But that doesn't wash. It isn't true. A lot of Jewish people are certainly offended by that as well. That is non-Zionist Jews as well. A good point that Zach's making.
Possible for anyone to speak for the entire Jewish community. My observation, though, is before I was leader of a political party and a more public Jewish figure, there were organisations like the Board of Deputies who were claiming to speak for the Jewish community, or indeed the Chief Rabbi who was claiming to speak for the Jewish community. And I know as a Jewish person, never mind a politician, when I would hear them speak or see them release a statement, I would go, that doesn't represent me. As a Jewish person, that's not what I think. So what I hope is this opens a more broad conversation about people claiming to speak for a community, when we know there isn't a single Jewish community. There are Jewish communities who believe different things and have different views and different nuances. What I hope to do as a leader is to all of those communities, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I'm still willing to listen. I'm still willing to keep dialogue. You don't have to agree with me on everything. But I do think a fundamental red line for me is what is happening in Israel is a genocide. Now, if you're Jewish, you don't have any more responsibility than anyone else to speak out against the genocide. But as a Jewish politician, I do think it's important that I both make sure that my Jewish identity is not weaponized by other people in the community who claim that all Jewish people support the Israeli government, or certainly all Jewish people support the genocide, because that absolutely, categorically, is not true.
Very good response from Zach Polanski. But he is so naturally gifted in these sort of circumstances, isn't he? With interviewers. Whether he's on TV or people put him on the spot while he's out campaigning. It was Hackney, wasn't it? I think. Zach Polanski there. And we're going to take a look at an article now concerning the Greens. Because even more elements of the mainstream media are perhaps starting to twig on now that Gorton and Denton wasn't a fluke, that the Greens have serious momentum. In fact, they have the only upward momentum at the moment. That is where the polls are concerned. And in London specifically, just before we take a look at other areas. It's again looking positive. They look set to outdo reform, because, of course, only the Greens can stop reform at the moment. And a lot of us were wondering, in these major hubs, obviously the capital being one of them, how things would go down. So let's take a look at this. What is it? London Economic article. Just bring this up for you 1 second. And of course this would be the first time in ever that Labour lose control of council in London. It was actually, historically, it was closer during the 70s and 80s between the Tories and Labour, but they've had a stronghold on the capital for some considerable time. And now it's all gone. Keir Starmer's gone and blasted that right into the sea. So let's have a skim through this article. Let's deal with all the pop-ups. Effing ads. Polling carried out by YouGov for Sky News projects that both the Greens and Reform will make significant gains in the capital. However, it looks like Londoners will favour the Greens over Reform. Zach Polanski's party are projected to win control of 4 councils, Hackney, Lambeth, Lewisham and Waltham Forest, whilst also taking the second highest share of the votes across the city, with 22%. It will be the first time that the party's ever gained control of London Council. Meanwhile, Reform are predicted to win 3 councils, Barking and Dagenham, Bromley and Havering. That's 1 fewer than the Greens. Not 1 less, whoever wrote this. 1 fewer. Anyway, their share of the votes is also predicted to be much lower than the Greens. The polling reckons Reform will win 14% of the votes, which would leave them in 5th in the capital in terms of vote share, behind every other major party. So that's a bit of a kick in the stained teeth for Farage, isn't it? It's also huge, devastating, catastrophically bad for Labour. 6 councils they're looking at losing, ones that they currently control, which will leave them with but 15. Whilst this will make them the biggest party in London, the vote share is also predicted to drop to 26%. That's down 16 points. And this is just according to the polling. Sorry, just getting rid of more ads. The Tories look like finishing on 17%. That's with a loss of 1 council. But Lib Dem could pick up 1 in the form of Merton, according to the poll. But you look at those margins of error there on that one. I don't know if you can make those out. So I've just accidentally clicked something. Just go back to these margins of error. They do overlap rather considerably there. And we saw what happened in Gorton and Denton. Yes, that's a parliamentary by-election. Different set of circumstances, of course. But people were expecting that to be a lot closer, and in the end the effort by the Greens was certainly understated in the polling, even right up to days before the votes took place. I also think that Labour's downfall could be understated as well here. So I think that combination, you never know. You never know. You could see the Greens ending up with more councils than Labour. Sorry, just waiting for all this shit to load up the pictures. These fucking ads. That's an MRP poll. Yeah, don't rate there. Polling too much. But there you see, look at those close margins. Don't know if you can make out the horizontal lines overlapping there, but if you put the Greens somewhere towards the strongest within that margin and Labour towards their weakest, you could certainly see the Greens coming out on top. Fortunately, most people in London rejecting reform, and the Tories don't fancy their chances of coming second. That is the Tories. Fortunately, this is one poll where Reform are right down there. So that's good. So with that in mind, that's going to smoothly segue us into the return of a popular feature here on the Brews at 10. Just 2 weeks to go until the local elections. And of course, those important Holyrood and Senedd elections. Things are getting hot. Yes, people. It's hot seats time again on my left eye with a fortnight to go. Until the polls close, actually. We'll be past that point this time in a fortnight. We're going to take a look at a few hot seats I've selected in a very biased fashion from here in the northwest. And of course, we're going to take a look at the Scottish and Welsh elections as well. Where's the do the thing? Okay. Right, we did take a look at pretty much every council in Greater Manchester recently on stream. I've selected 3 from Greater Manchester. There will be more, but these are the current ones to watch. We've got Bolton, we've got the City of Manchester, we've got Salford, and of course Holyrood and the Senedd. Why are they all hot? Okay, let's take a look. We'll start with Bolton. Or who were also in the opening meme, as it were. Do you remember on yesterday's stream? I remember I mentioned the arrest of the grooming gang from Bolton. That was those guys, the ones that Reform will never mention ever. So if you remember, this is how things looked in Bolton with Reform somewhat in the lead. However, I'm hoping the Greens can continue to make gains here, and Reform's vote share might be slightly overstated there. Had to say this one is one I'm being very optimistic about, have to say. While it's statistically not very close, I think it could be or get a lot closer in the next couple of weeks as well. Yeah, I also know a few Green Party members from Bolton as well, and other areas, of course, but I do know that they're very good campaigners. I do know that we have great campaigners for the Greens who watch on stream as well. Rock Yeah, I think, is one such campaigner, amongst others, of course. So I do want to keep my left eye on this one from Bolton. But things look a lot better in a couple of other areas, because there are some, according to the polls, genuine two-horse races out there, and that's why they're hot. City of Manchester, take a look at next. So you see, again, these are jail partners MRP figures, but very close there, with the Greens perhaps looking like pipping it. Of course, it could result in no overall control without a majority, but that would be sensational as well, considering obviously the Greens have never had the most council seats in Manchester, gained the first parliamentary seat in Gorton and Denton recently as well. So with a 26.5% slump for Labour, that really is a massive drop, one of the biggest that we've seen. And a decent gain for the Greens as well, almost 10%. So on top of what they already had, they would outpace reform. So that's right in the heart of Manchester, in the city of Manchester. Let's see. Do the right thing, town. Over to the north-west now. Salford, which again is kind of close, not as close as the city of Manchester according to the poll, but Reform, according to this, gaining over 28% there. The Greens gaining 13.2, which is certainly not to be sniffed at. But look at that for Labour, 41.4%. Just to remind you, these sort of numbers, they're just unheard of, and there have been some absolute drubbings in recent and fairly recent political history in the country. The Tories losing gout to Tony Blair in 1997, of course. But 41.4%. That is just, that's not a slump. That is not on the wane. That is a party dead on its feet at a council level, certainly in Salford. So let's hope that the Greens can pick up a bit more pace, although I would be remiss if I wasn't being completely honest, because we do have another relevant statistic to bring you that is very hot off the press actually. There was a singular council seat by-election in Salford this week, and this is the result. It's not a good one. There you see Reform gaining from Labour. That's a Barton and Denton. That's Barton and... Did I say Gorton and Denton? No, Barton and Winton. God, it's been a long day. Yeah, that's the division. A gain of 34.9. But look at that. Labour more than halving their vote share. Terrible for Labour. Oh well. But again, you see the Greens in third there, so they are gaining. Come on, Greens. Tories, Dems, Independents, very low, single digit. Barely worth a mention. I do want to keep my eye on Salford though. Okay, just 1 sec here, people. I'll bring up the Welsh and Scottish elections. Yeah, campaigning in Lewisham. Excellent. Oh, it really is great to see. Hope you got your handy flat spatula. Well, speaking of which, certainly it wasn't you, Rock. Yeah, you're a lot more experienced than this, but a Labour, the actual candidate was caught taking a Green Party leaflet out of a letterbox whilst campaigning for Labour, which is of course illegal. But the Green Party member should have pushed it through properly with the flat spatula. The old tricks work the best, and then you don't cut your hands to smithereens on bloody letterboxes or get them gnawed at by bull mastiffs or whatever. Yeah, Graham, Tories are in complete collapse as well, along with Labour. It's just Labour have, they're falling from a higher position, I guess. They're falling further, but they are both in free fall. Reminder, on a national level, the Green Party are pretty much the only ones who are in the ascent at the moment. Whilst you might be seeing these numbers here with large amounts of gains for Reform, admittedly at a council level again, but they will be down from previous projections as well. So there is hope. Hope is kindled. Okay, we'll go to our friends up north now, because things look good outside of England. That is, there are reasons to be cheerful for those who support Scottish and Welsh independence, respectively. If both do manage to gain independence, perhaps they might consider teaming up and calling themselves not fucking England. Could have not England North, not England West, something like that, maybe. No, of course. Stick with your traditional names. Maybe temporarily, just as a sort of sly little dig. But these are the numbers, and they do look good for anybody who supports SNP. Of course, as well as the Greens, who are actually polling on 20%, which is, according to this, going to land them 18 seats from stats for lefties. So there would be a lot of areas where SNP policy and Green policy would align, so that would make for a very healthy, unofficial coalition, as it were, reform, with just 15. Although, when you look at the picture map, obviously the SNP have a massive 68, but you can't really see any green on there. There should be, well, a fifth of it should be green. Labour ditching 12. Lib Dem actually making almost doubling their seat share on 10 now. Tories down 23. So the biggest losers are the Tories. Well, like we just said, well timed there, Graham. Tories in complete collapse. So when we look at how those seats shape up, if again you consider SNP and the Greens coalescing on a great many matters, they have a clear combined majority there, 2/3 of the House. I can picture you all Googling Scottish house and rental prices as we speak. So that, yeah, that's good for me, because I do, of course, support Scottish and Welsh independence, if that's what the people want. Of course, let democracy prevail. But also, of course, I recognise how England extorts the other members of the so-called union. When Keir Starmer, whomever's trying to put Scotland off leaving the union, is at the dispatch box, whatever, and they say things like, the money we give Scotland, what they actually mean is Scotland give England a load of money, England give Scotland some of that back, and then try and say that they're financially supporting Scotland, who use less energy than they produce by some significant amount, yet have the highest energy bills in Europe. Yeah, it just doesn't add up, does it? So no wonder that the population seems to have had enough, and on a whole other range of issues, of course, including the National Health Service. You see a lot more socialised infrastructure in Scotland now because of the devolved parliaments, and that's good to see. Free prescriptions, they don't have tuition fees, this kind of thing. So we'll keep our left eye on Holyrood. Things look good at the moment. Let's see how things are doing out west in Wales with the Senedd. Oh, I guess I'll take this from just the opening vid. Sorry, everything will go blank for a second while I find this position on the opening video you saw there. Because we got some fresh information. Now, where Wales is concerned, something came out today. First of all, you saw it for a few moments in that opening video. I'll just skip forward here. It's around here somewhere. There it is. So the last we saw, the last Stats for Lefties reported, and we relayed that information to you, of course, was 36 seats with a 3-seat lead over Reform. However, things have developed, so things look good for Cymru at the moment. Where's the other one? Just get this other poll up. Green's up 6 as well. We noted last time out. But still, that's pretty close, you know, just 3 seats. 3 seats in that one. And this came out today, actually, I think. So this is hot off the press from Stats for Lefties. It's even better news. Look at that now. According to Ipsos, a 12-seat lead. That's up 17. Labour down 31. There's, look, where's the red? There's no red on the map, barely. Tories down 18. Tory and Labour collapse in Wales. Well done, Wales. And it looks as though, yeah, like I said before, maybe, yeah, the Greens are going to gain 4 seats there just to maybe reinforce that. But they are talking about making a show with a national presence. It is, of course, the Green Party of England and Wales. So I guess they do all representation. Yeah. More of that, please. Hope that's fairly accurate from Ipsos. Again, have Stats for Lefties changed the... I think they've changed the logo up a bit. Yeah. Thanks again, Stats for Lefties. Well done, played. Keep an eye on the chat as well. It's been lagging somewhat recently. That's been happening when I've been watching other people's streams as well. I don't know, it's just a general YouTube glitch. Don't know what's happening. So we appear to be entering a new era in British politics. That's for certain. Will there be a Britain by the end of this century, even halfway through the century, even a third of the way through? Who knows? What will it just be? England and Northern Ireland? But the times, they are certainly a-changing. To quote Mr. Zimmerman. yeah, Specs Bean Farmer need 49 to form a government in the Senate. Plaid would still have to do a confidence and supply deal with another party. Do you think they'd go along with Labour? Well, according to that, they could have 4 seats from the Greens. And it's going to be close, it's going to be interesting. But according to that fresh info, they'll be a lot closer than projected this time last week. Ernest, mostly, yeah. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Very enthusiastic there about Scottish independence. Of course, a lot of Scots don't like being called British. I'm bigging up Manchester as well in the chat. Thanks a lot for that, Ernest. Solidari-Tea. Okay, there will be more names going on to the list of hot seats, but for now those are the ones to watch. Some of them particularly close, as we saw. They won't all just be from Greater Manchester as well, by the way. Because of course they're taking place all over the country. Not literally everywhere, but they're not exclusive to Greater Manchester. There's no shame in singing along as well while you're watching the intro and outro video to that one. Okay, people. Time for another shout out to the members on the channel. Do stay right where you are, because we're going to be heading into some of the socialist content shortly, potentially. A quick reminder, hit supportive buttons, thumbs up, that sort of thing. Hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on future streams or content. Super chats is still open, as well as super stickers. Super thanks if you're watching back later on, and all of that business. We appreciate all of your support, wherever it comes from, as always. Oh, we've got Kev. We've got Kevin Logan. Marvellous. So that's going to be a stream into Kevin Logan. YouTube studio's been very well behaved tonight. I'm pleasantly surprised. Didn't want to jinx. I did notice earlier. Didn't want to jinx it by mentioning it. Davinia, you're very welcome for the stream. Thank you for being here, and thank you members as well. People like yourself, Davinia, Moisha, on Toast. Yeah. I'll have to check out that episode. I didn't see Gary's Economics. Thanks for the pointer. So, as I said, for reasons I can't exactly mention, at the moment, all will be revealed eventually, people. Not certain when the next stream will be coming to you, but I will look forward to it nonetheless. All that remains for me to say on this stream, though, is thank you very much for being here. Power to the people. Free Palestine, Sudan, Lebanon and Yemen. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't watch the news, be the news. And my left eye will be seeing you soon. Good night. Solidari-Tea.
Right, off you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's easy!
The door is open and you can leave.
It's what Hitler and Goering did, and it is textbook. And if you think the next time it happens, we're gonna recognize it because they're wearing scary uniforms, you're out of your damn mind.